Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you are all doing well. I've been for a run today. Managed to get about four miles in. And I've got to do 11 on 11th. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good. I tell you what else is not looking good. This madness that's going down at the minute at the football club with regards to the manager. Now, let's hope it is all codswallop, but we're still going to report of it. We're still going to report on it because that's what we're going to do. Now, The Guardian have run a piece this morning to say that Parag is flying in for showdown talks ahead of Monday's game. Now, I believe he's just coming to watch the fucking game because Leeds United are promoted. However, they've gone as far as to name some names that Leeds United apparently are sounding out. Now, one of them can get in the bin straight away, right? The other one I've never heard of, but admittedly, I don't know much of the European market. And one of them is, listen, he could have, I'm careful because he hadn't done first team manager, but it's Davide Ancelotti, Carlo's son. Like, what? What are we doing? Like, for me, one of them specifically, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, you appoint him, announce relegation. That there is like Frank de Boer at Crystal Palace that lasted about 70 days. Like, what are we doing here? Does he though, Vic? Does he? I've done some research. Does he? Does he really? I'm not too sure. For me, to be going into the Premier League season with this squad and ripping it all up and giving it a new manager, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Thank you very much, Adam. Now, we'll talk about each candidate. And, of course, Roger Schmidt, as people are saying, has managed at Benfica. He won the Primeira Liga 22-23. High pressing, 4-2-3-1. But he was sacked in December 2024. It's an intense, pressing, high defensive line, quick transition football. His teams are attack-minded, but can be vulnerable defensively if the press is bypassed. That's him. We'll talk. First of all, let's go back. Let's have a look at what the article said, right? We'll go through the article first and foremost. So, for me, I think the Wild do you know what? Before I even bring it up, right? I'll bring it up and then. For me, it shows a distinct. I know the press aren't bothered, but the last time we treated a manager this poorly, we know what happened, right? I think it's so disrespectful that this is out there. Now, you can say what you want and say it's bullshit, right? But it's come from somewhere. It's come from somewhere. So, originally Daily Mail, and now The Guardian are picking it up. And the club still haven't come out and denied it, have they? Farke said it. They said, what's the ownership said? And he said, for that, you'll have to speak to the ownership. But there was a post, recipe for disaster. Exactly. At least give the guy an opportunity first. At least. And there's also an issue that we're going to talk about in terms of player recruitment, by the way. Player recruitment issues, talking about they don't want the manager to have as much control. They want it to be data-led and all that sort of stuff. I'm not sure I back the 49ers in acquiring the right people for me. Now, I think it's so disrespectful that it's even been spoken about. This guy is going to end up with nearly 200, what will it be? About 180 points plus over 2 seasons. Admittedly, great side. You can apply context positive and negative. I will apply it positive. Some will apply it negatively, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But he's built 2 squads. He's got over 90 points. Do you know, that was what just came to mind. Do you know, the season Norwich went up because when Farke said his comments, I think it was it wasn't taught Norwich City, but basically there was a thread done on on X, and it was Norwich fans talking about Daniel Farke's comments in the last presser. Do you know one of them seasons that they went up, they bought Sam Byram for 700,000. That was their like top buy that summer. We got him on a free like now, and they bought him back then. I mean, he was great, but that was one of their signings. So I think for me, it's you need to give this guy an opportunity. Now, Paul, of course, it could be clickbait, and that's fine, but I'm still going to report on it because it's out there, right? It's out there, and there is no smoke without fire. Let me just say this. This is 2 now that have reported it. And if the names that have been linked are the ones that we go for, for me, nah, it's not for me. Especially Giovanni Van Fecking Bronckhorst. What are we doing here? I could be a success in the Eredivisie. De Boer was. Van Bronckhorst was. Ten Hag was. Slot's different. But there's been many successes in Holland. And they're all Dutch, coincidentally. And then when they leave, they can't get the wacky-backy anymore on the gash. Do you know what I mean? People, honestly, if we were to get someone like Van Bronckhorst, it's genuinely similar to De Boer at Palace. Honestly, I genuinely think it's as bad as that. I think it's mental. Yeah. I mean, just look at it. He bought Mamadou Sakho for 26 million. We know how well that went. And Jairo Vrijdeveld, 8 million from Ajax, who barely got a game at Palace, and then I think he's in Champo now. But yeah, bring Uwe Rosler back. Right, let's go through the article now then, and I'll shut up talking for a bit. So Parag Marathe travelling from San Francisco on Monday, doubts among us over Farke despite promotion. This, listen, let's just hope he's there to celebrate, and we get some sort of communication from them to say all's good. So Leeds chairman Marathe is flying from San Francisco on Monday for talks with Farke. The American will attend Monday's championship game, with Leeds needing to win to move back to the top. We've got to win tonight, by the way. If we don't win, then screw the title away. Also, we did a bit of a live stream last night, actually, discussing the team of the season. And I was going to do the correct team of the season today, but this has come out now, so I don't need to. I'll save that for another day. But did you see who won Player of the Year? Gus Hamer. What? Gus Hamer, who ghosted in games against Leeds and Burnley. Gus Hamer, who has 13 yellow cards and 9 goals. What was that about, by the way? I sort of understood Parker getting it. I thought he might, but I thought Trafford would have got the top spot. Not Gus Hamer. Yeah, I agree, Aaron. I agree. Now, I don't think it's 100% he'll be in the dugout, but I do agree it's silly that we're even talking about him. But genuinely, there'll be some out there who'll go, oh, Ancelotti's son, yeah. And listen, it could work and I'll end up with egg on my face, but I think it's far too much of a risk. You don't run before you can't walk. If you're going to look at other clubs, if you will look at Forest, by the way, Forest had Steve Cooper, then moved it to Nuno. If you look at Brighton had a couple of seasons under fucking Chris Hughton, for God's sake. Yeah. And then went and expanded. It takes time. Didn't Villa have Dean Smith? Do you know what I mean? I just don't think it's right to straight away be going to such an expansive style of play, personally. Yes, exactly. I agree with Mr. Dodo. Either you get a top-tier manager if you're going to sack him, or you stick with Farke. Anyway, let's get back to the article. So, members of the consortium that owns Leeds have privately expressed doubts about whether Farke is the right man to manage the club in the Premier League, despite the German leading them to promotion this season and earning 90 points in the previous campaign. Farke was relegated from the Premier League in 2019-20 with Norwich, who sacked him early in the 21-22 campaign after he led them back to the top flight. Managerial leads a consortium of about 100 investors. Will have the final say. Needs to be convinced by Farke and wants to hear how he would approach season in the Premier League, which is fair enough. Agree with that. I agree with that. The owners have ambitious plans to turn Leeds into a top 10 club and to expand Ellen Road's capacity and want to make quick decisions. Well, it needs to be quick, so we need to be ready. Leeds' managerial plans are complicated by financial restrictions that have left them with little profitability and sustainability headroom and a limited budget to make changes. That better be bullshit, by the way. The club have posted combined losses of 94.5 million over the past 2 seasons, and their permitted loss for the next 3-year reporting cycle will be 61 million after 2 seasons in the Championship. Farke has 2 years on his contract and will be due a year's salary in compensation if dismissed, leaving Leeds to focus on alternatives who are out of work or available for limited compensation. This is where it gets crazy. The Guardian has been told that initial soundings have been made towards the former Rangers manager Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. Are you for real? Are you for real? De Boer settings. Let's just have a look at Van Bronckhorst. Yeah, obviously great player. Won the Champions League. Spent some time in England with Arsenal for a short period. His coaching career is Feyenoord, Guangzhou RF, which was in China, probably chasing the bag. Then he went to Rangers, replaced Steven Gerrard, sacked in November after trailing Celtic in the league. Didn't go well. He did all right in Europe, to be fair to him. He was actually better in Europe than he was in the league. Then he was appointed manager at Besiktas in 2024, in June. Won the Turkish Super Cup, but was sacked in November. So he didn't even last 6 months in that job. There you go. So prefers a balanced 4-3-3. Described as a gentleman with strong man management, though his tactics can be seen as basic. Basic. Now, of course, he has, again, honours to his coaching career in Holland, but I could manage in Holland, right? So that's Van Bronckhorst, which, for me, successful at Feyenoord, mixed results everywhere else. Now, he is known for strongman management, but criticised for tactical simplicity. So, people tell me my manager is tactically inept. So what's this guy? I'm not too sure. Exactly, El Loco. It's mental. Thank you very much, Chloe. We are coming back. It's mental. So please, no Van Bronckhorst. Like's been said, if we were to appoint Van Bronckhorst, just relegate us straight away. Genuinely, I would get De Boer vibes, who lasted, I think, about 70-odd days or something. It was a car crash. Goes on to say the former Bayer Leverkusen, PSV and Benfica coach Roger Schmidt. So let's talk about Schmidt. There's love in the chat for Schmidt. Schmidt reads as follows. German coach, known for high-intensity attacking football. Managed Del Brugge SC and Munster in the lower German league. So he's worked from the bottom to the top. Led Paderborn to promotion to Bundesliga 2 and gained attention at Red Bull Salzburg, winning the Austrian Bundesliga and Austrian Cup. If he's already worked for Red Bull, I don't want him. I am scarred by Red Bull. Get in the sea. Went to Bayer Leverkusen, where he was for 3 years. Implemented aggressive pressing, but was sacked in 2017 after inconsistent results. Then also went to China, much like Van Bronckhorst, chased that bag. Then went to PSV. Didn't win the league, unlike Van Bronckhorst. Finished second both seasons. And then Benfica for 2 seasons, where he won the league with a high-pressing 4-2-3-1, but was sacked in December after a poor start. I don't know why there's so much love for him in the chat, if I'm honest. Favours a 4-2-3-1, intense pressing, high defensive line and quick transitions. His teams are attack-minded but can be vulnerable defensively if the press is bypassed. Not with this team. Going in to the Premier League, no thank you. His notable achievements, he has an Austrian Bundesliga. Let's not forget that Rasmus Christensen played well in the Austrian Bundesliga. You could probably play well in the Bundesliga, Austrian one. Premier League, again, you know, he won it, but then was sacked the season after and won a cup in Holland. Yeah, I'm not too sure. He's experienced. He's attack-minded. But recent sackings raise questions about consistency. Yeah, but he was ultimately, and I know managers are sacked. Yeah, that went well for him. What about the rest, though? We're looking at that, and I agree with what Chris is saying. People are looking at Schmidt and, oh, he's managed at Leverkusen and done well. Oh, yeah, I like him. No, thanks. Yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. Especially if these are the replacements, bro. They're too risky. No, just because you want... No, not at all. No one's saying that. No one's saying that. The two people who are saying are the ones that don't want Farke, coincidentally. Yorkshireman, tell me what you know about Roger Schmidt. Have you ever actually seen him play? You don't. You've seen Bayer Leverkusen on his resume and you go, he'll be good. Give over, man. There's nothing wrong with a manager who has amassed over 180 points in 2 seasons, has never been back properly in the Premier League. He acts with so much decorum as our manager, right? Regardless of all the noise on the outside, it's insane. It's insane, to be honest. So, you know, every manager gets sacked, admittedly. But yeah, not for me. If you were that much of a success at Benfica, you last more than 2 seasons. I'm sorry. It's not a difficult league. There's 2 teams. You've only to look at Ruben Amorim. Where's he got Man United? 17 for summer. Some of these leagues, and you know, he might have a broke all record. Well, by that logic, our manager's got the best ever record of any ever Leeds manager. So why do people want him gone? Who's a better manager, Farke or Schmidt? Farke. Facts. What's Schmidt done? Tell me what he's done. He's won the Portuguese league. I dare say if Farke was over there, he would have won the Portuguese league. How is he not better? Tell me how he's better. What do you know about Roger Schmidt, Damar? It's laughable to think people in my chat think they know. It's bullshit. Any guy that's manages the Austrian Bundesliga getting the C. I don't want you near this football club. Now, I could end up with egg on my face, but if you appoint any of these managers, it'll go one way, and that's just my opinion. I know you are, Vic. I know you are. But there's people that are. What's Farke done? Well, he's got 5 promotions on his record. He's worked in the Bundesliga, not the Austrian Bundesliga. Okay, was at Bayer Leverkusen for 3 years, but was sacked after inconsistent results. You don't know about him, Damar, though. Tell me what you know about him without Googling then, please. Or shall I invite you to the chat now and you can tell me the history of this coach? You're lying just because I don't know. No, there will be people out there that do. Fair enough. You're not one of them. Facts. And he didn't fail in the Bundesliga, Yorkshireman. It's bullshit. Snowy Day Farke won't get offered any of them jobs. Mate, it was at Mönchengladbach. What are you talking about? Are you all right? So, anyway, let's move. Last one, because I will, Charles, I always do. It is what it is. Anyway, let's move on. Davide Ancelotti. Let's go on to the next one. Son of Real Madrid coach and Carlo and his assistant at the Bernabeu. Now, let me tell you now. Tacticos alike will love this one. Yeah, they will love it. I'm telling you. The first 2 are out of work. Why? Why when they're so successful? And Ancelotti is expected to leave Real with his father in the summer. Now, an appointment like Davide Ancelotti may make sense after a while. Yeah. After a while, it may make sense in terms of we are stable. We know what his ideals are. You know, I'm just not sure that your first season, by the way, into the Premier League is to bring in someone who's never coached before. Because his name's Davide Ancelotti. And that's the fact. Yes, Chris. Bang on the money, Chris Kelly. At least give the manager who has continuity, who knows the players, who knows the football club, who's never been backed, at least give him the opportunity to have 10 games than jetting in some clown manager like Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, letting them buy their own players. 10 games in, we're then scrapping around, and guess what? We finish the season with someone like Big Sam. There you go. I didn't even know this. Davide Ancelotti apparently is a fitness coach. But let's talk about Ancelotti's career so far. Italian coach, born 1989, son of Ancelotti, primarily an assistant coach with no senior head coaching experience. Began coaching at the age of 16 in Germany, worked as assistant to his father at Munich, Napoli, Everton and Madrid. It makes you wonder if he worked his son, would he have ever worked at all them clubs? I dare say not. Has expressed ambition to manage independently, but remains an assistant role. No distinct style, because obviously he might be influenced by Carlo Ancelotti's pragmatic, adaptable approach. Inexperienced head coach relying on his father's reputation, high potential but untested. Yeah, not for me. Now, according to a number of posts on X, some Leeds fans are considering these coaches as potential replacements. Schmidt is favoured by some fans based on what I'm not too sure, while Van Bronckhorst and Ancelotti face scepticism due to recent failures or lack of experience. Unfortunately, Joe's sentimental. We would still have Cooper and Ailey if it were up to him. No, we wouldn't. But yeah, I am sentimental, and there's nothing wrong with that. I can be, I can be fans. Listen, I don't even want to go into it. But too many of you think it's FIFA. You know, I had fans. There's people out there that believe we can sign Jack Grealish, Ekatike, who's wanted for 100 million. There's fans in the chat that told me they wouldn't even take Grealish. They say that someone like Evan Ferguson won't be a good signing for Leeds United. You're mental. Honestly, you don't know ball. I'm sorry. You don't know the standing of where we are as a football club. If you genuinely, you would go, we need more than this. It's like, relax yourself. But it is what it is. I'm the one who's sentimental and all this. It's mad. It's madness. Anyway, this again is God forbid someone is sentimental. I know. Same. Anyway, another potential issue for Leeds is the owners. This is a worry. Another potential issue for Leeds is the owner's determination to take charge of player recruitment through a data-led approach, which many managers may not accept. No shit. If you were frustrated in the summer or in January with the manager, I think the 49ers may well have been frustrated with the manager in January. Yeah. So this will cause issues. And maybe that's why they're looking at other... no, Tanaka was not hired based on data, not at all. Tanaka was hired because of the manager. Who told you that? The manager wanted him the season before because the manager knew about him. So this is what I mean. You want to say, see, you've done a madness there because Tanaka was, as was Gruev, a Daniel Farke signing. 100%. And guess what? He's many people's player. But do not give this guy money. Yes, it was true. Yes, it was true. He tried to sign him the season before, 100% Lee, as is always the case, to take any sort of credit. Do you know what's funny, right? Do you know what I seen the other day in my comments, which I found so laughable? Someone said to me, let's not forget the reason we got promoted is because Sheffield United imploded, not because of Farke. And it's like, right, okay, so Farke didn't win any points prior to that implosion that meant that we would be there? So no. Farke, we got up in spite of Farke because Sheffield United dropped. If it weren't Sheffield... All right, okay, so all them points that he amassed up to this point, he didn't do. So when we do well, players. When we do bad, Farke out. You can't have it both ways. I'm sorry, you can't. Spig, Tanaka was a Farke signing. Spent 3 years watching him before he signed. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Nothing to do with data, but hey ho. Anyway, Leeds backed Farke by retaining him after his side lost to Southampton in the playoff, but Murati failed to offer any personal support after securing promotion. At the second time of asking last Monday, Murati is due to stay at Leeds all week and attend their final game of the season at Plymouth on Saturday. So it will come to light, won't it? Let's have a look. On appointing Farke in July 2023, Murati said the former Mönchengladbach coach had been recruited with a view to managing the club in the Premier League. I don't think that he had a fair stack of cards when he was in the Premier League. We're going to give him the deck of cards. I think he could be very successful across Europe. This isn't just, hey, get us through the Championship. So we'll have to try. We'll have to see. Yeah, 100%. We'll have to see what actually happens, won't we, with Farke. Some will rejoice, many will be disappointed. But for me, if they were to sack him and bring in one of these three, we're done. We're done. Zaya Veltman says we need to keep Farke. Surely Mourinho is dated. Like, come on. James Gibson says, surely Farke is staying. This feels like a circus of Marsh and Orr again, just having the gossip around the gaff. Yeah, exactly. Won't lie. But we move. See, this is flawed because you saw him fail. He was given the opportunity to put it right. He put it right. 100%. 100% same. And I think they will, mate. I think they will, you know. It's a great shout. Yeah, you would hope so, Matt, but it's still out there, broski. It's still out there, and we can only report what's out there. We've actually been given some names now as well, and if these names are to be believed, they need the red testing. We lost out by 1 goal last season, but people would have you think we sat. Yeah, mental. 100%. And I would have liked the 49ers to have come out and backed him, and then there's no more stories. But they haven't done that yet. So we'll wait and see, won't we? We'll see, though. We'll see. Anyway, listen, folks, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my afternoon now. Smash a like on the video. I'll be back live at 7 o'clock to see Leeds take on Bristol City. I think we'll win that game. 2-0 or 3-0, one of. So that's going to be exciting. We must win that game in order to win the title. Because if we drop points, Burnley aren't getting beat by Millwall on the final day. Yeah, exactly, G Messenger. You know the score, and I agree with what Chris has put here as well. But yeah, but apparently it's not difficult because we've got the best team, so it's easy. It's not, though, is it? You know what I mean? And there's a reason why Farke has now 6 or 5 promotions in his career. He knows what he's doing. Anyway, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit the notification bell, and hopefully I will see you at 7 o'clock. Peace out. Love you all. Farke.